So we named our high school Fields High School as it. Now in later years, you would actually been able to work with Ashland University. You're from around here, you know, that's a private college, kind of hard to get into. I myself didn't even have the grades to get into AU. So for them to be optional and not take it, kind of a slap in the face to me. Now again, as I mentioned, folks, these rooms, these are your single guards living quarters. Men fresh out of the military, young 20s, 15 to 20 men per room, barrack style, bunks and trunks, right? Again, different times. I'm going to be saying that a lot. These men, you're working a job and you're getting housing included. Pretty lucrative gig if you ask me. Now, if you didn't notice that little creepy room right behind us there, it's got no windows in it, just a chair. Our paranormal team will tell you it's haunted. Well, I've got an easy explanation for it. I mentioned all staff lived here, right? So those men working night shift, where do you think they slept during the day? We would have popped them in there. Those walls, you can see how thick they are as well. No windows. They would have slept soundly during the day, being able to work their night shift. So, easy explanation to a creepy room. Our paranormal team will tell you if you turn off the light and move the chair, it'll move back to the center. I'm here to tell you, it's just a ghost. Now we're going to stop right here, folks. Line up on each side of the wall. Grab a seat on the bench if you want. I am going to be right back. I'm going to explain a little more architecture. I'm going to explain this X right here on the floor. I'll be wondering what that means.
Where do you see that at?
1 second, I'll turn on the wall.
Let's see.
Now, real quick, friends. Mr. Schofield, our architect, right? Originally, started out in the Civil War. Didn't want to be an architect. Served 4 years in the Civil War. After that, he was mustered out a captain. It's pretty good, right? Well, after that, he decided to go over to Europe to study architecture. That's where he designed the building, kind of picked up those designs like Queen Anne, Gothic Romanesque Revival, Gothic Romanesque, I think was another one. Those words going over my head and your head lumped together is basically what you saw when you pulled in here today.
Okay.
So when you guys pulled in here today, did it look like a prison to you? No. What did it look like? Castle. From the kids' tours we got yesterday, a lot of them shouted out Hogwarts. Right? But that's what it was meant to look like. This place was meant to inspire you, right? Not to scare you. This originally was intended for those boys about the age range of 14, 15, up to about 29 or 30, right? Yes, you messed up, but you were going to come here, work that reform program, hopefully leave here a better person. Your nest egg, right, or your commissary, all the money you made, half of that went to the side for when you went out of here. You actually left with a full tailored suit as well and a fresh haircut, right? So you had that nest egg, that fresh suit, that job skill, you were ready to go. Wish we still did that today, right? Well, Mr. Schofield hit a few little architectural feats in this building right here. So, for example, if I were to draw a line down to that chair room, straight up through this X, right through this doorway and into that chapel space, right? Now I fold the building in half right here. It is completely symmetrical on both sides. It is a mirrored image of each other, right? It is a complete copy.
That's very cool.
So on each level, as we're going through, no, you're not insane. Maybe you are, I don't know. But that is why the building looks the same, right? Now, not only that, this X, as I mentioned, finally get to that. This X is brought in by these natural light from these 4 guards' bedrooms, as I mentioned. It does not move. It's here on any clear day or any moonlit night. You're here at nighttime and you round that corner and see this thing, it's pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie. Well, Mr. Schofield put this in here because this X, if I were to stand in the middle of it, marks the dead center of this entire facility. Now, we actually had this measured 2 or 3 years ago with that new laser technology, right? This building's been around for how long? I mentioned construction began in 1886, so about 130 years, right? That X, it's only off 1/8 of an inch. We see buildings today settling feet at a time, right? That just goes to show the care that Hancock and Dow, the architectural team that Mr. Schofield hired, put into this building, right? Each level is also arched with bricks. That's how this building's lasted so long. We know anything about architecture? Arches are one of the strongest structures, right? Predates Roman history almost. So Mr. Schofield definitely knew what he was doing designing this place. Our paranormal team. I've already lost something, right? This X has a different purpose. It is a portal into a different dimension. If you stand in the middle of this X, you're going to be transported to a different spot. I'm still here. My coworkers keep telling me to stand here, so does my ex-girlfriend. I'm still here, unfortunately. I was told it's no longer active because it is off 1/8 of an inch. So, as we're passing through to our next spot, feel free to step right on that X. You're not going anywhere. Follow me, friends. In this area, before Hollywood would have been your single-guard living quarters. But this room I am standing in, this is Brooks's room from the halfway house and the Brewer Hotel.
Brooks Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Brooks Road. Brooks was here, so was
As you're
Red.
entering in here, as I mentioned, pick a door, any door. You can see on the floor where they would have had that track for those old movie equipment. Remember back in the 90s, movie reels were a little bit bigger than today, right? That's how they got that still image shot of Brooks taking his final breaths, right, before he takes his life. Now, before we get snapping away, I'm gonna break your Shawshank hearts. Look at that beam. You can see the original one. It was a little bit bigger, right? And that's because that is a representation. We're on a tour like this today, talking about how this is a representation. The gentleman in the back raises his hand. Says, I've got the real one in my trunk if you want it. First off, who are you and how did you get that?
The real what?
The real beam.
The real being.
Yep, this is a recreation one that we did.
Oh, okay.
So, again, we do an amnesty for artifacts program today. If you've got anything prison related, Hollywood related, we'll take it back, shake your hand, send you on your way, no questions asked. We just want our stuff. Now, we are on the faculty side of the prison. Unless you were a trusty boy inmate, which was few and far between, you were either a snitch or a very low offender, right? You did not see anything on the opposite side of that steel door leading into the chapel. So with all that being said, are we ready to become prisoners now?
Yep.
Alrighty. Follow me, friends, and keep that in mind. As we're venturing through here, no inmate would have seen anything we have seen on this side. To them, this door would have been shut. They would have not known anything over here existed.